All right, folks. We're diving deep into some games today that are not just good, they're so good they make you forget how long you've been sitting in front of that screen. We're talking Disco Elysium, A Plague Tale, Requiem Remnant 2, and oh, let's not forget Kingdom Come Deliverance, because who doesn't want to run around medieval Europe like a broke knight with no clue what they're doing? Let's get into it. First up, we've got Disco Elysium. Let me tell you, if you think you've had a bad hangover, wait till you play this game. You wake up with amnesia, no pants, and a whole lot of regret, and that's just the first 10 minutes. You'll be solving crimes as a detective, but let's be real. The biggest mystery is how you survived last night. This game is all about choices, dialogue, and making sure you don't accidentally confess to a murder you didn't commit. Pro tip: invest in those logic points early on, or you'll end up having a conversation with your necktie. Yes, really. Now, if you're in the mood for historical frustration, I mean accuracy, look no further than Kingdom Come Deliverance. You start off as Henry, the son of a blacksmith who couldn't fight his way out of a paper bag. But don't worry, you'll learn. This game is like a medieval life simulator where you even have to clean your armor because nothing says hero like shiny boots, right? How to be good at it? Patience. Lots of patience. You'll spend more time learning how to swing a sword than actually winning battles. But man, when you do, it's glorious.
Oh, dear God. Christ.
A Plague Tale. Requiem. Oh, you thought your life was tough? Try being a kid during the plague, while everyone's either dead, dying, or trying to eat you. You're playing as a Michia, and let me tell ya, this girl is tougher than a $2 steak. You've got to sneak past soldiers, avoid rivers of rats. Yeah, I said rats. And keep your brother alive while he's busy having supernatural rat-controlling powers. Strategy here? Use that sling like your life depends on it, because it does. Kenna. Bridge of Spirits. Now, this game, beautiful. It's like playing a Pixar movie. You're Kenna, this young spirit guide, and your job is to help lost souls while battling evil spirits with a staff that can turn into a bow. Talk about multitasking. And those little rot creatures? Adorable and deadly, like tiny minions with a black belt in karate. The strategy here? Upgrade those abilities, and don't be afraid to use the rot to help you in battles, because those little guys, they do work.
One of Tara's memories. I should see what leads me.
Next up, What Remains of Edith Finch. Now, this game will have you thinking like real deep. You play as Edith, exploring the mysterious deaths of her family members, and let me tell you, this family has some weird stuff going on. 1 minute you're a fishmonger, the next you're flying through a comic book. It's like the Twilight Zone, but somehow weirder. The game's all about exploring the Finch family's house, and each story is more bizarre than the last. Just don't expect to be a hero in this one. Expect to be confused, intrigued, and possibly emotional. If you like your shooters with a side of, oh no, that's a giant boss coming at me, then Remnant 2 is your jam. This game is all about fast-paced action, randomized dungeons, and, oh yeah, big, terrifying bosses. You think you've beaten the game? Nope. Every time you play, the game switches things up. The strategy? Team up. Unless you enjoy getting flattened by monsters the size of buildings, you'll want some backup. Now, let's get a little weird with Atomic Heart. Imagine if the Soviet Union never fell and you're running around fighting killer robots and mutant plants. Yeah, it's as wild as it sounds. The gameplay? It's fast, it's chaotic, and you're never really sure what's going to try to eat you next. The key here is mastering your weapons, and trust me, you'll need all of them. Stray, ever wonder what it's like to be a cat in a cyberpunk city? Well, wonder no more. You're literally a cat, knocking over things and solving puzzles like, yes, I meant to do that. The creativity here is top-notch, the world is beautiful, and the fact that you can meow on command? That's the real MVP feature. Evil West is like a spaghetti western on steroids with a side of monsters. You're Jesse Rentier, and your job is to clean up the West vampire style. The game mixes gunfights, brawling, and some seriously shocking, pun intended, electric attacks. The strategy? Hit 'em hard, hit 'em fast, and hit 'em with that electric gauntlet like you're trying to jumpstart a dead car battery. Oh, and don't forget, you've got combos. Don't be the fool standing there shooting like it's your first rodeo mixing those melee attacks. And finally, Chernobylite. Set in the eerie Chernobyl exclusion zone, this game is a mix of survival horror and sci-fi. You're gathering resources, avoiding supernatural threats, and trying not to, well, get radiated. The creativity in the environment is chilling, but the strategy? Build, craft, and make sure you've got enough ammo because those mutated monsters aren't playing around.